There were 24 actors in that first company, and all but 4 were Canadians. Guthrie insisted on this.
And of course, what a thrill it all was for those young Canadian artists to be playing in a company headed by Alec Guinness, no less, and directed by Tyrone Guthrie, no less.
We arrived to rehearse, and there was still a hole in the ground, you know, the cement. It was cemented with the terrace down to the stage at the bottom. And that was it. And they were working on it. How the heck you're going to get this ready in time, you know? It just seemed impossible.
I went up with them to cover for the Globe and Mail the momentous occasion of the first rehearsal, which was at a hall just outside of town, of Stratford, and Tony Guthrie, whom I'd interviewed several times by then, spotted me, and he put his arm around my shoulder and said, "It's not a time for the press," and edged me out the door. And then he opened the door and said, "But come to lunch afterwards."
And we all met, and we're all very nervous. Everybody, of course, was very nervous, including Alec Guinness. And Tony said, well, after all the introductions and everything, and he said, I assume you've all read the play, so why don't we just start? He didn't like wasting time reading the play. Funny, he thought it was just, he thought it was really a waste of time. Except it also helped the actors relax. And when Alec Guinness objected and said, "Oh, Tony, I'd like to read it." Oh, well, all right, okay, we'll read it. But, you know, that's another 2 or 3 hours of rehearsal time. And nothing Tony could do but sit and listen.
When we did the first day's rehearsal of this first Stratford Festival about Richard III, we all had tiny parts. He would outline to each of us what this character was, and it got us so excited. The possibilities of this little role, that we couldn't sleep, and he would say, "Come back and astonish me in the morning."
Everything stands out from that moment of opening night. And Richard III opens the play with his soliloquy, you know, "Now is the winter of our discontent." And Alec came out, and he comes out at the top and sat down on the ledge, which is about that wide, you know, at the top there, and sat down, faced the audience, and he had his dagger with him, drawn, and he went, thunk. "Now is the winter," and so on. And that, I remember hearing that thunk. And then he spoke, and the silence, and oh, I tell you, it was really something that evening, that opening.
And I always remember coming away after the first night of the first season of that Shakespeare festival in Stratford. I always remember saying to the friends I was with, and my wife who was with me, "Take a good look at this little town, because you'll never see it looking like this again."